Happy Tuesday. What's everybody working on tonight? Anybody got anything cool in the shop? Hey, Brown Dog Art and Design. Custom Trends, how you doing? What are you guys working on? We're going to wait a few minutes before we get started. What are you guys working on? What's in the shop right now? Anybody got any cool projects going on? Chris, how you doing? Chris, what'd you think of my post about Home Depot, man? No Bessie love. Oh, Chris is here, so we can start. Got some stuff to finish up. Nice guys. Oh yeah, I'm a Husky fan. 4 cutting boards, just finished the juice groove and 2. Nice. Yeah, I have to do a miter saw stand too. I don't know if I want to get that done this winter or not. They've been kicking Bessie out. What is up with that? Chris, you got any inside word on that? 4 times 10 doors. Oof. That's a big door. Chris, you got any insight into what's going on with Bessie and Home Depot? That, if you guys saw my post earlier, it was all DeWalt clamps at our Home Depot. Pretty bizarre. How heavy are, Julio, how heavy are those, man? Holy smokes. Those are big doors. Holy smokes. Yes, check out what's going on. I can't get these all on camera, but I picked these up on the Home Depot website. They're actually a pretty good price. 50 inchers, parallel clamps. I got a pair of them. I'm gonna buy some more. They're a pretty good deal. Everyone have a good holiday. Everybody get all the things they wanted. Anybody got something they didn't get that they're gonna go buy? Yeah, those Bessie clamps are heavy duty. They're nice. Chris Parker, when he was here for that Sunday special edition live, he brought one of these K bodies over. This is really nice. I liked it. I've used it already for some little things, but I've not used the DeWalt clamps. I like my Bessies, but Home Depot is pushing that DeWalt stuff, those DeWalt clamps really hard. So I don't know what's up with that. But they cleared out all the Bessie, where Bessie used to be, and it just seems like it's all DeWalt now. But I like Bessie clamps. I have these. I have some smaller 24-inch. And I have some of these piston. See if you guys can scroll around. Some of the piston wind models. Yeah, I want to get some of the new ones. If these go on sale, because the new ones are on sale, I would jump on these ones. I like these ones, but those new ones are supposed to be nice. Shelf space is sold to the high. Clearing them out. Shelf space is sold to the highest bidder. So you think what that is? Think that DeWalt just said we'll pay more, and Home Depot said okay, and Bessie's getting bumped. They're on the website still. The Bessies are. That's where I got those from. Yeah, there were some really good. Even online, there's really good sales on the Bessies. I've not used the DeWalts. I don't know how good they are. I did see they had some parallel ones in there, so that's interesting. Who writes the bigger check? I guess that makes sense. Yeah, that's how pretty much how it works. That makes sense. Business is business. So first off, hope everyone have a good holiday here. We got another one coming up. you guys are here for wood defects. What they are, what you can do about them, that sort of thing. I know with a lot of people, myself included, use a lot of construction lumber in a lot of the builds, the table builds, things like that. So, but that construction lumber is not made for furniture. That's not what it's being milled for. Moisture content is usually out of whack. The boards are garbage. I know I'll spend some time picking through the big box stores looking for some decent lumber. I know a lot of other people do that too. So the few things that I kind of brought some pieces out of my scrap bin to kind of show off what is the common defects you'll find and anything you can do about them. So kind of just review these real quick. A lot of you guys probably already know this, but it's good stuff to review. First one, cup. As you guys can't read that because it flips it selfie mode. But this is a pretty easy one to check for in a board. If you put a nice straight edge on there, I don't know if I could get the light. Let me see if I can shine the light through this. You guys see the light peeking through in the middle? But it is staying on, the straight edge is on the board, on the ends of the board. But you can actually see if I can get the light to peek through again. You guys can see the light flickering through there. That's cup. So that is a defect. You'll notice it for the most part. I'm just gonna leave this up here. For the most part, it will happen either with the growth rings. It usually, most times I see it, it grows this way, or it happens this way. But it can happen this way as well. Another defect, everybody knows these, knot holes. It's pretty obvious, pretty self-explanatory. A lot of people may not know what this one is called, but they see it all the time in construction lumber. This is wane, or want. Wane is that bunch of garbagey bark that's left on that they decide to keep on the board and sell it to you. So that's what that's called. You know, a lot of boards, I have a few boards that I picked out that either I'm going to cut that off and not use it or whatever, but you'll see that in a lot of big box stores. Another one that I couldn't find a really good example of this. Hard as I tried, I looked for everything that I had and I could not find an example, so I illustrated an example of this. So you'll see it's common on a 4x4 or bigger pieces. When they capture the heartwood within the board, you'll see checks and splits at the end when that heartwood. That's called a boxed heart when that is captured inside there. So like I said, most of the time you'll see it in like a 4x4 or bigger pieces. When that heartwood is intact within the board, you'll see splits. That's called a boxed heart. I don't know if you can read my writing. It's backwards anyway, so. So those kind of some examples, some wood defects. And then you have ones that you see a lot. You'll see everybody staring down the eye of a board. I'll try to be a good example of try to show a good example of this because this bends pretty well. You can get some, let's see, some bow that runs along the face. You can get some twist. That's when these two ends, I don't know if you can kind of see that, some twist. And this one I might be, crook. That is when the board kind of skews off like almost like a hockey stick. I don't know a better way to I don't know if this is going to show off, but it's called crook. So those are just kind of some examples of some things. For the most part, those last couple I would stay away from. Don't try to force a board to do something. If you're putting together a piece of furniture or you're making a stretcher or something on a piece of furniture, don't try to twist that board unnaturally. You put a whole lot into that and it's still going to spring back at some point. There's a lot of tension that will be built up when you try to move that board outside of it. If it's twisted and you try to untwist it with fasteners and such, you're going to have a bad time. It's not going to work. It's not going to last. So I would just stay away from boards that do that. I know because I do chainsaw milling, and I do mill my own lumber. So stuff I'll take off of my stacks will have those defects. It just happens. Just try to stay away from them, try to avoid them. There are some defects that you can do some things about. Before I get into that, let's talk a little about the prize for this week, because that's why you guys are all here, is for the prize. Here you go. This is the prize for this week. A little bit of DAP product. This is the pink stuff. It goes on pink, dries natural. It is stainable, paintable. I've used it about a half dozen times. I like it as far as a wood filler goes. I've used other wood fillers and I don't like them nearly as much. This is a lot better. While I have you all here, and someone brought this up, this was Poppy Workshop. Have you guys ever noticed that this has stained, if you've used this, have you ever noticed that this has stained your work? Almost like a water stain. What I think this is, it's what he said. He had this happen with a batch, like a whole bucket of this happened. Could have been a bad batch. It was on pine, so there's some reference there. And what I'm thinking is there was, he said he sanded it, but I don't know if there was glue still left on and the stain just isn't going to take, and everyone knows how glue and stain love each other so much and how well that looks, how nice that looks on a piece. Have you guys ever noticed this staining or leaving like a watermark look to anything? Can you guys see my breath? It's really cold in here. Anybody that uses this, have you noticed that? We were kind of curious about that. Have you noticed this staining and stuff? I've used it. I have not noticed that. Maybe it was a bad batch. Maybe it happens from time to time. I can't imagine there's anything in the moisture of the wood that would have done that, but I guess maybe that's possible. I don't know the science behind what causes that. So I've used it. I like it. So this is the prize for this week. Pretty cool. Nail and screw anchoring. Do you see that? Oh, that would be a really cool, I don't know if you guys can read that. A nail and screw anchoring. You know what would be a cool test is set some of this up with some screws and get like a scale, see how long those screws will stay in there. Nail and screw anchoring. I'm interested to see how strong that would be. Curious. All right, so that's the price for this week. Some defects, how to get around them, what to do about them. Wayne, I don't know if there's anything you could do about this except cut it off, get rid of it. I don't know, unless you tried to make that. The problem with, and if you use this outdoors, if you use untreated pine outdoors, you will notice this. You can get that pitch runoff, and I'm afraid if you left this on a piece, especially outdoors, you'd get, maybe indoors if it got hot enough, I don't know, you'd get pitch run out. That would be bad. I would say just stay away from Wayne. Do not use this in your work. Get it out of there, cut it off. Surface of the package that I've gotten. Yeah, make it a 2x3, just cut it off. That's another good really point why I'm going to bring it here. You guys heard about pitch. There is a lot of instances where you don't use untreated lumber outside. Untreated pine, soft woods like that. Cedar's a good one, untreated outside. A lot of people use that. Cypress is another one. Pine, don't use it. What can happen, most of the time for efficiency, the mill, they kiln dry this, don't take it up to a temperature that sets the pitch inside of the pine. And that pitch can actually seep out in the summer months when it gets warm. That can actually just seep up. It will seep out beyond your finish and your clear coat and stuff. I've seen it happen. So don't use untreated lumber. Don't use pine outside. I don't. I use cedar. I want to do some cypress stuff this coming summer with some outdoor patio furniture. But don't do that. That's all I gotta say about that. Knot holes. You could be creative, I think, with knot holes if you had some. Depends on where they were. If they're on the side here, depends if that's on a table edge. you may, I mean, maybe sand that out, and maybe it's okay. I would say it's kind of discretionary for the most part. Big ones that are like inside of a board like this, like in the middle, you're just on a tabletop, you could seal that up. Um, Put some epoxy in it. Yeah, use some epoxy or something. Make it a cool color. Use it apart. Keep the defect in there. Use it as a feature. That's possible. So I think knot holes are a little bit easier to deal with as far as that goes. I will say this: if you see, dang, I wish I had an example of this. If you see a knot, you have to be kind of careful. Some knots, they'll leave the piece of the little branch that was hunk that was sitting in there. Stabilize that with some epoxy would be a really good idea if you want to keep it. Otherwise, that can work itself free and pop out, and that would kind of suck if that kind of fell out and it work. So I would say stabilize that with some epoxy. Keep that if you want to keep it stabilized. Keep it in there in your works. Boxed heart. It depends. I would say if you can cut, get rid of it, seal off the end, drop some epoxy in there. That would be a good idea too. That's kind of really it there. Epoxy, the wondrous substance. Cupping. A lot of people have a different opinion about cupping. I use a planer. Some people don't like that. I will plane it typically on this face, run it through to try to knock off these edges, try to get everything squared up. It would be beautiful if you had something like a joiner that was wide enough that you could run that through. Not everybody has a joiner that big. So that's kind of the best you can do in that. Let's see, I use tape and create a temporary edge fill. Okay, I like to look at the edge of the table. Yeah, you could definitely do that. So I would say you can use a planer. You can hand plane this out if you were so inclined. Depending on how big it is, if it's a huge longboard, you probably don't want to do that. But I would say just pay attention when you're buying lumber. Try to get the best boards that you can. It's really hard. The big box store softwood lumber is not very good. I have found, in my personal opinion, that Lowe's is the best. It's more expensive. I don't like Home Depot softwood, white woods. I don't like those. We do have a Menards here that has pretty good lumber. You have to dig for it. They have the best selection of cedar wood in town, so I like them for that. That's really about it. Twist. I would stay away from boards with twist for sure. I don't think you're ever going to get that to a usable product when it's twisted like that. I think there's nothing you're going to be able to do. If you're going to make it into a piece of furniture, you don't want that. Stay away from that. As far as bow, if it's an 8-foot board and it's got bow, I don't think you're going to do anything. If it's a smaller piece, you can work with that. I think it'd be a whole lot of work to try to get an 8-foot piece to be straight. And then crook, again, I don't think you can do anything with that. If you're using smaller pieces out of that board and you break it down, those are easier to machine if they're broken down, rather than trying to tackle the single piece. A whole 8-foot board, try to fix that. If you're breaking it in like 2-foot sections, do that, and it just depends on what you're using it for. Biggest takeaway is I would not try to move the board out of its natural position. If it's twisted and you move it back with screws and glue and all that stuff, it will eventually break back the other way. So I would not do that. Anybody have any questions? Kind of a light topic this week. We're going to have some more stuff coming up. I got to get the heat working in here. I'm about a week late. I'm off this whole week, and that was my goal, was to get the heat in the garage. But I'm about a week late because it's like 0 or maybe into the negatives outside right now. And you might be able to see my breath. Anybody get anything real quick before we get into the prize? Anybody get anything really cool for Christmas that they want to brag about? I'll show you a couple things that I got, and I'd like to see what you guys got. What was the big smile maker in your house? What'd you get? Yeah, it's not gonna be I got a day off. Rock. Yeah, it's gonna be nice to have. This is three faces of this garage is insulated. The garage door is not insulated, so I'm just gonna put some foam board insulation up against the door and kind of seal it off. I don't have plans on opening the door up this winter, so I think I'm gonna go that route. Next year, try to do something a little bit nicer. Let's see, some new Timberland. I have some Timberland boots. I like them a lot. I wear the heck out of them. And I actually thinking about buying some Red Wing boots, because there's a buddy of mine who is a motorcycle mechanic, and he's on his feet all day long, and he's like, those Red Wing boots are like the best. So I'm gonna give those a shot. End grain cutting board. That's pretty nice. I like end grain cutting boards. Craig got some Craig stuff. Check out my feet if you don't open the door. We just boxed ourselves. Yeah, I'll check that out. Boxing off the door, because I'm not gonna need it. I don't think I have anything so big that I can't get otherwise out of the house. So I think I'm gonna block the door off for the winter. Yeah, Red Wings are nice. I've heard a lot of really good things about them. I'm gonna go that route, I think, for some boots for the shop. They'd be pretty slick. All right, I'll show you a couple things that I got. Eddie, I saw you on here. I put this on my Amazon wish list, and someone picked it up for me. And if you guys remember back to the live show when Eddie, MF Wood Butcher, he's in here somewhere, was here, he showed us a device very similar to this for honing chisels and irons. So I picked one up. I didn't pick one up. I got one for a present. I put it on my Amazon list, though, and someone got it. And I'm really impressed with... I used it. I have a stone, and I was working it. I don't know if you guys can see. This is a really crappy chisel, but I just tried to see how well it would work. This thing works really darn well. And this is a garbage chisel. But Eddie was so nice enough to explain why this type was very, very important. Because this will actually clamp onto your chisels. This expands too. This gets bigger and smaller. So this actually will fit your chisels and your irons. Look how fast I got that out of there. That was pretty quick. I don't know about you guys, but that was pretty fast. And then it'll actually fit your hand plane irons. I was working on this one too. I don't think I quite have the distance correct. I read the guide briefly, but I don't think I actually have it quite on there. But that's pretty shiny, pretty sharp. I was actually, and this was the iron that came with this $25 Stanley number 4 from Menards plain. So this was a very cool gift. I am going to use this. I want to start using some more hand tools. So this is definitely going to be needed. And it's a lot of fun. You just kind of roller it. Really cool. That live show is on my YouTube page if you want to go back, and I'll have to go back and watch how Eddie showed me how to use it. So I want to go back and get some education again, and watch how Eddie showed us how to do that. So that's in my YouTube page, YouTube channel page. All those things. The other thing, really no one else wants to brag. Everyone else wants to brag about the really cool stuff they got for Christmas. That's it. Michael, bandsaw decision. I was all set on my bandsaw decision until you decided to step in and drop some information on me. I was all set until you decided to just school me and give me all the good info on it. Big shout out to Michael, Alma Pink Soul Studios, Bill, William Patrick Customs. Those three have been giving some really great information on a very big bandsaw purchase that I'm about to make. So between the three of them, they've given me some really good information. I have made a decision. I am going to get the Jet 14-inch Deluxe bandsaw. The biggest reason is for the price and the features that it comes with. Cast iron wheels, which you said was important. And talking from a few of the guys at the hardwood store, also a Jet dealer. It's a 1 1/4 horse, I do believe, and it does. It is going on. It's going on sale in January. It's going to be 10% off, I believe, is what they said. So I think January 11th or through the 21st or something like that, it goes on sale. So I'm going to pick it up then. So that's the one I decided to go with. I was looking at the Rikon, and I was told don't get that one. Several people messaged me and said don't get the Rikon. I was heart set on that thing. I did a lot of research and I thought it was the one to go with. People were like, no, spend a little bit more money. Here's what I found out, and this is true about all kinds of purchases. Spend a little bit more money and you can get a better, but at some point there has to be a stop. At least for me anyway, because I don't have unlimited monies. I do have other things that I have to purchase. I do have to balance my budget and keep things in line. But the amount of information that I got, from people about the Jet seems like the way to go. So that's what I'm going with. In the future, I'd like to get something bigger, badder, nasty, big old bandsaw. But right now, the budget fits for that 14-inch Deluxe Jet. So that's what I'm going to go with. Oh, nice. Ronders, the Woodland Mills. I know she said she was going to send one. That's awesome. Nice. Spent some time with the kids. I am off all this week, so I'm really excited to get some family time in. Orange, there's nice. Some Home Depot. Yeah, I've had a lot of people. I think Alma just got that. Pink Soul Studios, she just got that 14-inch Deluxe, and she spoke very highly of it. Bill at William Patrick Customs, he's got, I believe, the 17-inch Jet. Likes it a lot. There was just a few things on my wish list for the bandsaw, and it fit pretty much all of them. But I think the cast iron wheels at that price point is big. I tried to make a spreadsheet of all the features and the prices and try to get on. There was a few Grizzly ones, but the part I wasn't so sure on with the Grizzly is their web pages for their products seem contradictory. They would say aluminum wheels in one place of the page. You scroll down and it says cast iron in another place. So it's like, I don't know which one to believe. So I didn't want to buy one or someone tell me, oh yeah, it's this, and to get it and it isn't, because that would suck. But the place I buy my hardwoods, most of my hardwoods, down in Sycamore, Illinois, the Hardwood Connection, they are a Jet dealer. They had one there, and it was really nice to actually just kind of play with it. And get a feel for it. I like it a lot. Especially on thinner blades. Carter guides. Nice. Yeah, you can always get two saws in the future. That's true. I don't have the space for two saws right now. In the future, that would be really nice to have some more shop space so I could have stuff like that. Get a set of Carter guides. Especially the thinner blades. All right, does anybody have any questions? Anything else? Sam's already got his guess in. All right, without further ado. All right, who won it last week? Pankova, I believe, was the winner last week. So Pankova, I'm sorry, but you can't win back-to-back weeks. Prize on the line is a container of this. Here's the thing. Here's how I'm gonna get it to you. I'm probably gonna order it like off the Home Depot website and have it shipped to you. Because I'm probably gonna use this one someday. So I'm gonna get you one off the Home Depot. Come, from Home Depot. That'd be cool. Is that chocolate milk? It's not chocolate milk. It's protein. So I'm a big old muscly dude. But protein. I would drink chocolate milk. I have no problems. I have chocolate milk in the fridge and I'll drink it. I'm not afraid to admit it. All right, you guys ready to do the prize giveaway? Is that you guys want quit me? Have me stop talking and get this prize done. You guys ready? One more thing. If you guys have maker shirts, hats, that kind of thing, if you want to swap, let me know. I will swap hoodies, shirts, hats with you. If you have them just for sale, let me know. Because we are also trying to grow, Julie and I are trying to grow our maker shirt collection. So if you do have some available, send me a note. If you want to swap, we'll send you some of ours. No problem doing that. So just another note to remind everybody. All right, guys, ready? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, that would have been crazy if that would have stayed like that. All right, here you go. Small hand for scale. This is how I photograph fish when I catch them. So they look huge. Like, oh my God, that's the biggest smallmouth I've ever seen in my life. Holy cow. I'll be like, look at this fish I caught. It's huge. All right, so what do you guys think? You guys have been getting really good at this. I will say that. You guys have been getting really good about this. Prize on the line. Some DAP. Plastic Wood X wood filler. So you guys know the rules. You get one guess. It is your first guess, closest person to it, plus or minus. If two people get it dead on or equidistant. What is that noise? There's a plane over my house right now. It's crazy. Equidistant, then it is the first person to get it. First person that gets it will win. Get your guesses in, folks. Get your guesses in. I'm going to get a sliver and it's going to suck on the live. Be like, all right, guys. You guys got all your guesses in? I'm going to measure it. I'm going to look, see if anybody got it. And then I'll show you. That's how this works. And then I'm going to get inside because it is cold. It is probably -2 temperature out there. Wind chill is probably in the minus teens. It's cold. It's cold. Don't look. Don't look. I got it. Let's see if anybody got it dead on. No one got it dead on. Let's see here. Is that all the guesses, really? Everybody got their guesses in? All right. I don't see 15 guesses here, guys. Maybe I do. Can you guys see it? 22 1/2 inches, which, if I'm reading this right, 22 3/4. Is that Scott Couch? Get Off the Couch Design? Is that who that is? Is that the winner? 22 1/2. Anyone got it closer? Anybody get it closer? Anybody get closer than that? All right, you're the winner. Scott, I think I already have your address, so I'll just get that in the mail to you. All right, next week. I haven't picked a topic for next week. I've got some ideas. Some people have sent me some requests, some info, some things that they want to see. So I'm going to post a little bit later, do the recap and kind of say, hey, what's going to go on next week. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. You guys have been really awesome. I got to figure out a really good giveaway for you guys. You guys have been such troopers. So I'll throw something in here pretty cool in the coming weeks. Get something pretty awesome. Julie will be back on at some point. She's afraid to do it solo. So I'm going to have her come in here and talk about some design things that she knows, some colors, paints, and all that good stuff that she knows and she's very well versed in. So all right, guys, I'm going to take off because it is freezing cold. Make the awesome stuff not next week. All right, it won't probably be next week. I'm going to do some other stuff. In fact, might do some more sandpaper next week. Everybody can always use more sandpaper. If you guys have any questions, if you have any suggestions on things, let me know. This live will replay for 24 hours on my story, and I will post it to my YouTube in the coming days here. If you guys have any questions, let me know. And again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Have a good rest of your evening.